This kingdom, this kingdom has been established. This kingdom has been established for the savior of the Hindu religion culture. For the savior of the Hindu religion and for the savior of the Hindu religion culture, this kingdom has been established. Earlier one kingdom, I have said regarding the one kingdom, regarding the Vijayanagar Empire. Even that kingdom was been established for the savior of the Hindu religion culture, tradition, etc., etc. Even this kingdom is been said that it is been said. One of the Marathi poet Bhushan, he says, if Shivaji has been not born itself, if Shivaji has been not born itself, there will be no Hindu religion itself. There will be no Hindu religion itself in India. It will be just in the books itself, not in the practice. Not in practice. So this has been stated by one of the Marathi poet Bhushan. He has been said that if Shivaji has been not born itself, Hindu religion would be completely vanished. Hindus were being completely killed itself. So this is being said by the one of the Marathi poet Bhushan. Why it has been said like that? Because in the north, Mughals were ruling. In the south, Deccan Sultans were ruling. And they have been occupied all the regions. In the north, the Mughal, Delhi Sultanate, after the Mughal. In the Deccan, they have been Sultans. In the Shahi Sultans, they have been already occupied. So it was a threat for the Hindu religion. At that time, Shivaji established a Maratha kingdom. Shivaji established the Maratha kingdom as the savior of the Hindu religion. As the savior of the Hindu religion, he established the Maratha kingdom, the Marathas. As the savior of the Marathas. As the savior of the Marathas. As the savior of the Marathas. So here, it has been marked as the historical events. The establishment of the Maratha kingdom has been marked as the historical event. So the rise of the Maratha kingdom in Deccan during the 17th century was the important development. The rise of the Maratha kingdom during the 17th century was one of the important development. Because in the north, they have to fight with the Mughals. In the south, they have to fight with the Deccans. In the middle there. That too, their area has been occupied by the Mughals and the Shahi Sultans. In those circumstances, they have to fight for the establishment of the Hindu kingdom or the Maratha kingdom. So at that time, Shivaji played a very important role. He has been called as the savior of the Hindu religion. Even today, he has been praised. Not only in Maharashtra, even in the whole country, even in the whole world itself. So here, in the spread of the present North India during the 17th century, Maharashtra was under the control of the Nizam Shahis of Ahmednagar, Adil Shahis of Vijaypur. These sultans employed Marathas in their army. These sultans employed Marathas in their army. Among them, Shahaji Bhosle was the administrator under the Vijaypur Sultan. Shahaji Bhosle, the father of Shivaji, he was the administrator under the Vijaypur Sultan, Shahaji Bhosle. He had been gifted the lands, so he was looking after the one particular area. He had to pay, he had to collect the taxes, he had to give towards the Vijaypur Sultan. Deshmukhs were powerful local leaders. Deshpandes and Deshmukhs were the local powerful leaders in those days. Deshpandes and Deshmukhs. So Shivaji, the main figure or the main person in the Marathas. Shivaji. So the founding of the Maratha kingdom opened up a new chapter in the history of India. The founding or the establishment of the Marathas opened up a new chapter in the history of India. So here, the decline of the Mughal kingdom started during the Aurangzeb. The efficient administration built up by the Mughals rulers was becoming weak. due to the some policies of Aurangzeb. I have said earlier while teaching about the Mughals, I have said some policies of Aurangzeb made the Mughals big. So the region away from the capital were experiencing the weak administration, and the officials were not implementing the orders of the emperor. The misrule of the officials was the misrule of the officials in the Marathwada, especially in the Maharashtra, in the Marathwada, which was the away from the capital on the western edge of the empire. Farmers, traders, craftsmen were exploited by the huge taxes. The social life was burdened with the misbehavior. The social life was burdened with the misbehavior of the officials. It was impossible. It was impossible to conduct any social religious rituals in public. If you want to conduct any social and religious rituals in the public, you have to pay the taxes for those officials. They were expecting to pay taxes for all these activities. All these activities. In those circumstances, Shivaji was able to establish a Maratha kingdom by motivating the religious and the cultural favor among the Marathas. Shivaji was a great king. Shivaji was the great king among the Marathas. Even today he is being praised. Even today he is being. In Sirsi itself, the Shivaji circle is there. Even today, this particular person is being praised. So he expanded the kingdom. He expanded the kingdom by motivating the local youths. He built an army. So, and at the same time, the preaching of some of the saints, some of the Maratha saints, even this paved a way for the establishment of the Maratha Empire. And Shivaji had twin aims. Protecting the Hindu religion and the establishment of the Maratha kingdom. Shivaji was born. Just listen to me. Shivaji was born in Shivaneri in Pune, Shivaneri of Pune district. His father was Shaji Bhosle. His father was Shaji Bhosle and mother was Jijabai. Shaji was the employee of the Vijaypur Sultan. So, Shivaji was brought up by his mother Jijabai, and all whatever is needed, religious, fever, uprightness, honesty, sincerity, to his son, all was being poured by his mother Jijabai itself. And another person is there, Shivaji's grandfather, Dadaji Kondadeva. He is called as the Guru of Shivaji also. He trained him in the warfare scriptures. Shivaji achieved the proficiency of bodybuilding, fencing, horse riding, and the other war events. So who is the Guru of Shivaji? His grandfather, Dadaji Kondadeva, is the Guru of Shivaji. In his childhood itself, Shivaji had dreamed of establishing the independent empire. Therefore, he made Pune as his center and started the process of expansion of the kingdom. In order to achieve this, Shivaji assembled the army of local Mauli youths, and trained them in the guerrilla warfare. Remember saying guerrilla warfare. So Shivaji's army was well versed in the guerrilla warfare. Shivaji's army, especially the local Mauli youth, he trained them, and already they were well versed in the guerrilla warfare. Guerrilla warfare means hiding in the bushes, hiding on the trees, and sudden attack on the enemy. So that is being called as the guerrilla warfare. So here, Shivaji, after establishing empire, he started to conquer. Shivaji conquered Toran Fort, Purandar Fort, Chakan Fort, Simghat, Jauli Fort from the Vijaypur Sultan. He renamed Hosdurga near Toragarh Fort as a Raigad. He built a new fort called Pratapgarh. Since Shivaji fought against the Vijaypur Sultan, his father Shaji was captured by the Sultan. On the insurance that he would not attack them again, on the insurance that Shivaji would not attack the Bijapur Sultan. On that agreement, Shaji was been released by the Bijapur Sultan. So Shaji means Shivaji motivated the Bavli youths, gathered them, he gathered them and made a and established a small army of the Marathas. With the help of that army, already they were welfare in the guerrilla warfare. With that help of that, he conquered the Vijaypur Sultan forts. The forts which were under the control of the Vijay, all those forts were been conquered. So at that time, Shaji was looking after the Bangalore. So Shaji was being captured by the Vijaypur Sultan. There was an agreement between the Shivaji and the Shivaji and the Bijapur Sultan, that Shivaji must not attack their forts. On that agreement, Shaji was being released by the Bijapur Sultan. So like this, Shivaji established a Maratha kingdom. Next, relationship between the Mughals and the Shivaji. Relationship between the Mughals and the Shivaji. So Shivaji fought against the Mughal kingdom. Aurangzeb, for many years, in addition to defeating the Shahi kingdoms in South India, Aurangzeb determined to vanish the Maratha kingdom. Aurangzeb has planned. Aurangzeb has planned, and he has an aim that defeating the Shahi kingdom, as well as he wanted to uproot, means Bay Sameta, Maratha Sameta, Maratha kingdom Bangabadi. So here, to achieve this, he appointed the Shaista Khan and Jai Singh. To defeat Maratha and the Shahi kings, he appointed, Aurangzeb appointed Shaista Khan and the Jai Singh. Jai Singh defeated Shivaji and made agreement at Purandar. Jai Singh defeated Shivaji and made agreement at the Purandar fort. As per the agreement, Shivaji surrendered 23 of his fort, and the land added 16 lakh incoming annually. He promised to be loyal to the Mughals and sent 5,000 cavalry under the leadership of his son. So after the agreement, Shivaji promised he would be loyal towards the Mughals, and he sent 5,000 cavalry, Ashwadana, 5,000 Ashwadana, on Magana leadership alli Nayakatvaದಲ್ಲಿ Delhi ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. So Sambhaji, who was he? Sambhaji, on to Delhi with the intention to stop Shivaji becoming intimate with Adil Shahis of Bijapur and Qutub Shahis of Golconda. Jai Singh called Shivaji to Agra. If Shivaji would be in Maharashtra itself or Pune itself, he would join hands with the Shahi Sultans. So to avoid this, Jai Singh invited Shivaji to Agra. Aurangzeb did not show proper respect to Shivaji in the court and insulted him. Aurangzeb did not show proper respect to Shivaji and his son in the court in the Agra, so he insulted him. So when Shivaji protested against this, Shivaji and his son Sambhaji were been kept in the prison in Agra. So, but after a few days, Shivaji along with his son escaped from the prison and hiding in the fruit basket and reached Raigad. So it is been said that Shivaji escaped from Delhi or escaped from Agra and reached Raigad. Later, he strengthened the army and conquered the forts which had been lost to Shivaji, which were lost to Aurangzeb. Shivaji was collecting chauta, 1/4, from the land tax from the regions of the Shahi and the Mughal areas. In the Shahi and the Mughal areas, Shivaji was collecting 1/4 of the taxes. 1/4 of the taxes. And he was collecting Sardesh Mukhi, 1/10 of taxes in the kingdom. Shivaji's coronation took place in the year 1674. The 1674. The coronation of Shivaji took place at Raigad. Coronation of Shivaji took place at Raigad in the year 1674, and there he was being facilitated with the title Chhatrapati Shivaji. There he was being, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಬಿರುದನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟು 1674ರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವಾಗ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಶಿವಾಜಿ ಮಹಾರಾಜನೆಂದು ಘೋಷಣೆ ಆಯಿತು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಬಿರುದನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಛತ್ರಪತಿ ಶಿವಾಜಿ. So in 16, the coronation of Shivaji took place in the year 1674 in Raigad Fort. There he was being facilitated with the title Chhatrapati Shivaji. So next, administration. Shivaji organized an efficient administrative system in the vast empire. He divided the kingdom into many provinces. So they were called as Swaraj and Mughal areas. Kingdom were divided into many smaller and Swaraj and Mughal areas. Swaraj means areas of the Marathas. Areas which were under the control of the Mughals, they were been called as Mughal areas. So Marathi was the language of the administration, and they were known as, the ministers were known as Ashtapradhanas. What do you know as Ashtapradhanas? So Shivaji has been appointed 8 ministers to assist him in the administration. So the 8 means Ashta. So they were been called as Ashtapradhanas. They were been called as Ashtapradhanas. In the court of Krishna, they were Ashtadigajas were there. The poet 8 in number. So 8 ministers, 8 important ministers. They are been called as Ashtapradhanas. In addition to them, there are officials, the provincial, district, and the village to look after the village units. So next, the revenue system. So here already I have said, Chautha and Sardeshmukhi were the taxes collected. 2 types of taxes were the Chautha and Sardeshmukhi. Chautha was being collected in the Shahi and the Mughal areas. Sardeshmukhi was being collected in the other areas, in the Marathwada areas. So land tax was the main. Land were being gifted to the some important persons. So this next, the judicial in the Shivaji's administration. Traditional system of justice was in practice. The village panchayat used to dispense the justice in the village. The Brahmin judges used to give decisions on the basis of the Smriti and scriptures. Army. Shivaji, when army comes, so here first comes the guerrilla warfare is the most important in the Shivaji's army. Guerrilla warfare. So Marathas army had infantry, cavalry, and elephant units and cannon units. There were important forts. Forts were the important, especially in defending especially to defend themselves and during the wartime. Forts played a very important role. And Marathas soldiers were specially trained in the guerrilla warfare. So last, the successor of Shivaji. So Shivaji's last days were very bad. Shivaji's last days were very bad due to 2 wives. One wife is danger. Shivaji, one ಹೆಂಡತಿ ನೋಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ Shivaji 2 ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಇತ್ತು Shivaji. So that was the main reason. That was the main reason for the Shivaji's last days were very bad, very pathetic, very bad. So during the last days of Shivaji's 2 sons, Shivaji's 2 sons started a war for the success to become a successor of the Shivaji. So when Shivaji was in his last deathbed, the quarrel arose between the 2 wives. ಎರಡು ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಜಗಳ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ನನ್ನ ಮಗ ರಾಜನಾಗಬೇಕು, ನನ್ನ ಮಗ ರಾಜನಾಗಬೇಕು. So here, Saibai, the Sambhaji's mother, and the Sorabai Sirke, Rajaram's mother. Saibai was the Sambhaji's mother, Sorabai Sirke was the Rajaram's mother. Sambhaji by his strength conquered the Maratha kingdom and began his region. Sambhaji by his strength conquered the Maratha region and started to rule. He lacked of vision and wisdom. Due to this, instead of protecting the kingdom, he himself became the victim of the Aurangzeb. Lack of wisdom and lack of overconfidence, he became the victim of the Aurangzeb. Who? Sambhaji. So when Sambhaji became the captive of Aurangzeb, his stepbrother, Sorabai Sirke's son, Rajaram, became the royal representative of Sau and overtook the administration. Rajaram fought against the Mughals and recaptured Gujarat, Malwa, Khandesh, Birar, and other forts. Since Rajaram died in the 1700, his wife Tarabai Moite and made her 10 years old son Shivaji II, the king, and ruled over the kingdom on the rule of the king. She also waged war against the Aurangzeb. Even she also waged war against the Aurangzeb. Although initially the Mughals were victorious, later Marathas recaptured initially the Mughals till Aurangzeb, Marathas area was under the control of the Aurangzeb. But after death of Aurangzeb, again the new era started in the Marathas. So here, again there was a rift between the Tarabai Moite and Sambhaji. At last, Tarabai Moite gave up and Sambhaji became the king Sambhaji was being released by the Mughals. So here, Sambhaji completely handed over the administration in the hands of the Peshwa. Completely handed over the administration hands into Peshwa. Peshwa means Prime Minister. Today he is being called as the Prime Minister. Peshwa completely handed over the administration to the Peshwa. He was just a president. Today how the president is there. He will be the head of the country. But in his name, who look after the country? Prime Minister look after the country. In the same way, Sambhaji became the president and complete thing was handed over to the Peshwa. Peshwa means today we can consider him as the Prime Minister. So in this manner, the Peshwa rule began in the Maratha region. So before going to the Peshwa, I want to say something here. Do you remember one of the film? Which is that film? The one particular film is there on the Peshwa. It is in my mind. The name is not coming outside. So I would show you that before beginning the Peshwa lesson, chapter Peshwa concept, I would show that film for you. Not full film, some parts of the film I would show you. But now here, due to the online class, I can't. So that particular film is there, which has been pictured of the Deepika Padukone, Ranbir Kapoor, and someone I am not remembering. Yes, very good. Bajirao Mastani film. Thank you, sir. Which is that film? Bajirao Mastani film, which gives the complete details of the Peshwa, how the Peshwa administration was in the Maratha region. During the Peshwas, how was the administration? So Bajirao Mastani film. So if it is possible, go to see that film, Bajirao Mastani film. So the Peshwa administration begins in the Marathwada or in the Maratha region. So first Peshwa was the Balaji Vishwanath. First Peshwa was the Balaji Vishwanath from 1713 to 1720. Balaji Vishwanath was nominated as Peshwa for his efficient and loyal service as a commander of Sahu. He played a very important role in releasing the Sahu from the Mughals. He gained friendship with the Sayyid brothers of the Mughal dynasty and earned the responsibility of collecting the land taxes in the Marathwada region. So, but later, by the Mughals, he was able to bring together all the Maratha Confederacy or the Maratha Union, under the one rule. So this was been done during the Shivaji. All the Maratha Confederacy was under the control of the Shivaji itself. But after Shivaji, it was again divided. So that Maratha Union, again it was been reunited by the Balaji Vishwanath. So Bhosle, Gaikwad, Holkar, Sindhya. So these were the Peshwa. So this was the Maratha Union. It was been regained or reunited by the Balaji Vishwanath. So like this, he established the frame of the Marathas. After Balaji Vishwanath, here comes the important Peshwa, Bajirao. Here comes the important Peshwa, Bajirao. His name was Bajirao Balal. From 1720 to 1740. After the death of Balaji Vishwanath, his eldest son, Bajirao first, got appointed as the Peshwa. Although he was only 19 years old, he was unparalleled warrior. With the intention of expanding the Maratha kingdom in the North India, he conquered Gujarat, invaded Chittorgarh, Srirangpatna in Karnataka, when Bajirao declared war against the Mughals, the Nizamul Haq of Hyderabad, Nizamul Haq, with the intention to assist the Mughals, he tried to march towards the Delhi. But he lost towards the Mughals. But he lost towards the Mughals. But he lost towards the Marathas. But he lost towards the Marathas. Means here, Bajirao defeated him. In the Deccan itself, he was defeated by them. So here, but he was lost towards near the battle in the Bhopal. Due to this, the vast stretch land between the Narmada and Chambal river, came into the hands of the Marathas. And 50 lakh of war compensation was been taken by the Bajirao from the Nizams of Hyderabad. So in addition to this, he conquered Salsette and basin from the Portuguese, Jangir and cities. Pune became the administrative center. During the Balajirao, Pune became the administrative center. At this juncture, the members of the Maratha Union, Scindia of Golkar, Holkar of Indore, Bhosle of Nagpur, and Gaikwad of Baroda decided together to become independent. Again, the Maratha Union, again they wanted to become independent. Bajirao first not only ruled with the efficiency but also re-established the glory of the Marathas. So during the Shivaji, what the name and frame was there? And whatever the works were been done by the Shivaji, by capturing and by extending the empire, same thing was been done by the Bajirao. He was the unparalleled warrior. He has been not lost one of his battles. How many wars he has been, 62 wars, 62 wars he has been fought, he has been not lost one of the battle. So he has been called as the unparalleled warrior. He has been compared to the second Shivaji itself. Bajirao has been compared to the second Shivaji itself. So if you get a time or if you get a chance, just go through the Bajirao Mastani film. You will come to know regarding the Bajirao second. You come to know the Bajirao first. He was an unparalleled warrior. So next comes the Balaji Bajirao first from 1740 to 1761. Since he came to the power at the age of 20, Balaji Bajirao appointed his close relative Sadashiv Bhau to guide him in the administration. He aspired the ends of the image of the Marathas. He took the measures to improve the economic state of the Maratha region or the kingdom. To establish the Maratha rule over Bundelkhand, he travelled with the army of Holkar and Scindia in the year 1742. Ahmad Shah of Afghanistan attacked Mughal area and captured Lahore, Multan and Kashmir. The Mughal king Sarfuddin Jung entered into the agreement with the Marathas. This agreement related to the internal and external invention. So there was an agreement with the Mughals and the Marathas. If anybody attacked them, they would help. If anybody attacked the Marathas, Mughals should come to their help. If anybody attacked the Mughals, Marathas must go to the help. So such was the agreement. So here, already you are knowing regarding the first battle of Panipat, second battle of Panipat. So you are knowing what happened in the first battle of Panipat, second battle. So here comes the third battle of Panipat. Third battle of Panipat was fought between the Ahmad Shah Abdali and Balaji Bajirao. We can say that it was third battle of Panipat was fought between the Afghans and the Marathas. But Marathas were completely defeated here. Here one film is there. When the Hindi research film is there. Regarding Panipat, the film name is Panipat itself. Sanjay Dutt and some of the castings are there, I'm not knowing. So there they will give the complete details regarding the third battle of Panipat. How the Marathas were been routed. Marathas were completely defeated in the third battle of Panipat. So here, after Balaji Bajirao first, he was the second son of Balaji Bajirao and became the Peshwa after the death of his father. Since he was minor, he appointed his uncle, royal representative, after the defeat in the third battle of Panipat, he recovered in the astonishing manner. He established he established the kingdom in the south and in the north India. When the Nizam's attempt to benefit from the defeat of the Panipat, Madhavrao first defeated him in the battle of Ahmednagar. So already Marathas have been defeated. So seeking this chance, Nizam of Hyderabad conquered made an attack on the Marathas. But Madhavrao first defeated the Marathas. So Madhavrao first defeated the Nizams. He defeated Hyder Ali of Mysore. He not only made war against the Mysore a second time, but defeated Hyder Ali in the Srirangapatnam and acquiring all the areas occupied by the Hyder Ali, but also received the huge amount of money as a war compensation. He overthrew the Rajput, Jats and the Rohins in the northern India, and he helped the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II to be banished as a traitor to regain the Delhi throne. In this manner, Madhavrao II re-established the glory of the Marathas, the glory which has been washed away through the third battle of Panipat. So that after that, Madhavrao, when he came to the power, so he re-established the name and fame of the Marathas, which has been vanished during the Panipat battle, third battle of Panipat. So, but due to the war between the British and the Marathas, Maratha-Anglo war, due to the Anglo-Maratha war. So British, first they have been taken the help of the Marathas to defeat this Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan, other South Indian kingdoms. So when they were been defeated, so Marathas were been defeated by the Britishers. So the three Anglo-Maratha were been witnessed in that. In the third Anglo-Maratha war, Marathas were almost completely defeated by the British. In the third Anglo-Maratha war, Marathas were completely defeated by the British. Thus, it is the end of the Marathas. So this is regarding the Marathas. So here you have to remember regarding the Shivaji and the Balaji Vishwanath. Bajirao II, the important, you have to remember. So whatever the questions I'll give, so here complete exercise you have to write. Complete exercise you have to write. So just wait, I'll show some images. You can see the forts of Shivaji. So these were the forts. Coronation of Shivaji in 1674. You can see the Maratha kingdom, which is the orange color. So that is the Maratha kingdom. Portrait of Shivaji, coronation of Shivaji. So Mauli youths, those who are in the well-versed in guerrilla warfare. Jijabai, so Jijabai and Shivaji, Dada Kondadeva. So you can see the Marathas. Bajirao. You can see the Marathas in the third battle of Panipat. Ahmad Shah Abdali Madhavrao. Third battle of Panipat. You can see Sambhaji, Shivaji's son.